Because for you to use the fact that prior to printing, it means you already tell me print. But before you print, come up to me.
There is nothing in that paragraph that indicated that money should be printed.
The essence of this exercise, the essence of this exercise is to know the facts. Everybody will have the opportunity to ask questions if you so desire.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon and a pleasant welcome to Freedom Hub on 87.9. This is the official voice of Freedom Communications Incorporated. My name is Kyle Oliver Kine. I'm here with Princess Alexa Vanjakoli today. It's the last day of the month of November 2022. The next time you're going to see any day in November, it is going to be in 2023. By this time around, constitutionally, we would have gotten done with the second rounds of the presidential elections in the event where there is not an absolute winner in the October polls. Too many things happening in the country. A lot of issues going on in the Republic of Liberia. And of course, we are here on this wonderful, wonderful edition to discuss those issues that concern the country. The president of Liberia left Qatar on yesterday, and he's currently in the Kingdom of Monaco, in the Monte Carlo, area, for a peace and sports forum. So many things. Liberia's Minister of Finance and Development Planning, the Honorable Minister of Finance and Development Planning, Minister Samuel Ditwe, was flown out of the country along with his darling wife, Mistress Delisha Twe, following an accident on the Banga-Lofa County Road. He's been sent out of the country for improved medical attention. Too many things, a lot of issues going on in the country. A vehicle belonging to Senator Abraham Darius DeLon was involved in an accident on yesterday, which was the holiday, somewhere around the UN Drive in Monrovia. A white vehicle with the license plate Senate number 2 belonging to Montserrat County Senator Darius DeLon was involved with an accident. Unfortunately for the senator, he was nowhere near the vehicle. It was only his driver. And no injuries to the driver. Only the private property that was, hit. And the vehicle got damaged from the, from the front side of it. Good news, thank God that nobody got injured. Too many things happening. Liberian civil servants are beginning to receive, some of them have already received their November pay. I repeat, Liberian civil servants are already receiving their pay for the month of November. By the time this week is going to an end, or better still, early next week, between Monday to Wednesday, according to what we've gathered from the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning, all of those with the issue of salary arrears, will be done with. The government would have, gotten done with the issue of salary payment. A variety of national issues, especially with the statements that flooded social media following the accident of Minister Twe, will be discussed. We'll be looking into that, situation when Liberians were wishing the minister evil. Is this politics? Should Liberians go to this level? Should we go to the point where we would not have this issue of empathy, compassion for one another? Have we reached to a point where politics, was able to divide us? To the point where nobody, some way, somehow, that some group of people will think the best way you can get at, your political rival is to wish ill upon them. That conversation is going to be interesting. It's going to be an introspective one as we intend to rumble into the issues making the news in the country. Just before we take a few bars of our team song, our latest investigation has uncovered that Mr. Alex Cummings was able to pay a total of $1,500 to each of the tribal groupings, each of the tribal leaders with their different auxiliaries that had the petitioning program on Claratown Football Field a couple of days ago. We are still deeper into that. By the time we have the full scale story, trust me, we'll play you voices, we'll bring you messages, we'll show you conversations, and give you real information as to how that money was divided, who did the distribution, who was in charge of renting the buses to bring all of the auxiliaries from across the places, and all of what you need to know. We take a few bars of our song. When we return, we go into the issues of the day.
Hello. I want to talk about violence. More violence is indiscriminate. It can happen for any reason and to anyone. Until we do something to stop the surge of vigilante-style justice in this country, none of us will be safe. My Liberia is Liberia of hope. In my Liberia, it is possible. Violence is not part of my Liberia. Violence leads to property damage, injury, or even death, as we are seeing in recent months in several parts of Liberia, including Monrovia. Talk to people in your community about violence. Stand up against mob justice. Be a community hero. Liberia is all that we have. We must all unite to uphold the rule of law. Thanks for listening. This is Old Man Sam Simon.
They want peace in Liberia, peace in Monrovia.
Okay, all right. So welcome back. Elisa, good afternoon, my dear. Welcome.
Good afternoon, Oliver, and wow. And I would like to say good day to all of you. What a wonderful way to welcome you to Freedom Hub on 87.9 FM, Freedom Radio Liberia via Facebook and YouTube. We have a lot to talk about, especially when the society is becoming insensitive by the day, where we have a lot of people wishing death upon their fellow human, which is something that is very bad. And I think we have to talk about that because we should have already graduated from a stage where we miss our politics with basically wishing someone death or wishing death upon someone. However, we have a lot to talk about. The president has departed Qatar and is now in Monaco. Monte Carlo specifically. So I guess we're going to bring you development with exactly what the president's assignment is in Monaco at the moment. However, we'd like to say welcome to Freedom Hub.
Okay, so basically we're here, and I think we're gonna have an SOS call for Chris. Chris Cruzo to join us. There's
the feedback is
okay. All right. Okay. So I think it is much better at the moment. It is much better. Yeah. So yeah. Okay. So a couple of days ago, and basically it was the weekend when. Alexa, when we woke up to the news of the Minister of Finance, Minister Samatwe, getting involved with, an accident on the Lofa Highway. Now, I had to do this, but we saw several messages on social media in which Liberians were like, celebrating the minister's involvement in the accident, which is very, very, devastating. I mean, that action is appalling. It doesn't say anything good about our moral consciousness as a country and people. On the overall, I got disappointed. I don't know what your reactions were, during the course of the weekend when you.
I actually felt I felt sad. I actually felt sad, and I was a bit down, basically, from the different comments I read, because there are two things, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to wish someone well if you don't want to wish that person well. On the other hand, you don't have to wish evil upon another person. It is your right to stay mute. It is your right to, or keep your empathy or sympathy whenever you have some devastating news about a person. That's up to you.
Mm-hmm.
It is not a coercion. You're not forced to wish someone well. You're not forced. No.
You're not.
In as much as you're not forced, you should not wish someone evil. That is like really clear, and that should be fundamental, because the fact that you have a couple of people saying, hey, we wish you well and we're in empathy with you, we hope you recover sooner, and our prayers are with you, that is okay for people who are wishing good upon the minister, his wife, and of course people who were involved in the accident. Like, that's 100% good for them. That is their choice. They have wished good upon that person. They've wished the person well. That is good. In your own corner, if you don't want to wish well to someone, of course, Oliver, it's up to you.
Mm-hmm.
No one is going to judge you for not saying, hey, best wishes, speedy recovery. No one is going to say that to you. But it becomes an issue, or basically it becomes a problem when you're wishing evil upon that person, it doesn't really make sense. It doesn't say anything good about the moral you hold. It doesn't really say a good thing about you as a person, as a human being, because all of the things we have on this earth, the best you could do is to wish someone well. If you don't want to wish someone well, it's okay to just sit back. The worst you would do is to wish evil upon another person. So I was really sad that our society has taken a trend where people are becoming insensitive by the day. And that is something that was really disheartening, Oliver, because we have a lot of young people who are basically going Delhi, and they're seeing out of the different societal standards, and they're seeing out of the different there are changes between different groups of people on a daily basis.
Mhm.
And it becomes a major problem. It becomes intriguing when you have young people looking up to Oliver, for example, and this person is someone I hold in high esteem, and you're someone I respect 100%. If I'm going to see Oliver as a person who, I consider an influential person in my life, and that person is wishing evil upon someone, trust me, I have already taken that from Oliver, and that would be like the order of the day. So it's basically like, whenever you're going to have this incident, or whenever you're going to have a moment where someone is experiencing difficulties, I mean, people will no longer be sensitive to the fact that these people are going through a whole lot. That you don't know if there's depression, you don't know if that person is badly injured, you don't know exactly what that person is going through at the moment, regardless of the person's political persuasion, regardless of the person's position, regardless of the person's side, right? You don't know what that person is going through at the moment.
Mhm.
So all I think, as a human, the best you would do, or the best you can do, is to wish well for the person, or better still, just stay quiet. I mean, it says a lot about that, because everyone has a moment where they will be down, whether it is going to be a physical pain, whether it is going to be an emotional pain. I mean, everyone has that moment where they will feel some sort of void. They will feel some sort of a moment where they will need someone to wish them well, right? So it becomes really crazy. It becomes really insensitive when we have a lot of people whom we look up to, people who we consider to know better, especially when we have these different moments. It's okay to have your own political party. It's okay to have someone you support from a different political party. It is okay. That's why we're always talking about promoting peace, promoting diversity, promoting democracy. That's one of the reasons we're always encouraging people to embrace, the difference in another person. That's one of the reasons we always do it. That's one of the reasons we always do it. But I'm from this political party, you're from that political party, and you're hurt. And then I'm happy that you're hurt. You know what that says? You are from another political party, I'm from another political party, I'm hurt. And you're happy that I'm hurt. It doesn't say anything about the democracy we're discussing now. That's a whole different ball game. That's a whole different ball game. So I think people, especially folks who are in several different spaces, I think they should speak volume to them.
Mhm.
They should send out or signal to them that no matter what happens, everyone has a moment where they will be up. Everyone has a moment where they will be down, physically or emotionally. So wish well, or just forget about wishing well and sit back. But do not just speak evil upon another person. Oliver, that is one of the worst things. One of the worst things a person would do, to wish your fellow human evil. It doesn't make any sense, and that is really horrible for us as a people. That is very disappointing as a people. If we are talking about Liberia will move forward as a country, I think everyone has to at least know what sensitivity is, and everyone should also know what insensitivity is whenever we have these difficult moments in our life. Seriously.
And so that is exactly what I thought of, talking about it like that. And the thing is very simple. Like Alexa said, you are not forced to say, "Oh, I'm so sad that Minister Toya or this person got involved with accident or so forth." You are not compelled. whether you hate depression or not. In fact, I don't know why this is creeping in our society, because the Liberia that we know, when people are at loggerhead, when people making confusion, right? When people got issues with one another, we call that malice in our country. When people keeping speech, you know how we can call it. Whenever one person is sick, or that person is bereaved, or something terrible, before that person, the other individual would normally suspend whatever issues that existed between the two, for the sake of the current condition the other person is in. That is how we grew up. That is the Liberian culture. That is how civilized people will behave. But to see people on Facebook celebrating, Minister 12 minutes, the road gave Minister technical glitch. We saw the kind of, no, the thing is, it is not about who is involved. It has nothing to do with it. Our politics should remain on the issues. They should remain policy driven. They should be about what better policy prescription we can put forward to a certain administration if we believe and think that they are not in the right interest of the country. You don't need Minister Troy to make accident for government employees to receive their pay. What joy is it going to give you, if a fellow Liberian is down? Now, this is not politics. I mean, people should stop that. And that's why A.B. Gosson-William, our station manager, on yesterday, he did a post. He was around when Senator DeLon vehicle, got involved with accident as well. The good thing about it is that the senator was not present. The senator was not on board the vehicle when that situation occurred. That's the good thing about it. A.B. Williams told us on social media that a Liberian was present. He said, I just hope Senator Delon or Isa, I wish it does. And that person who said that thing is a fool. Whoever made that statement when they saw Senator Delon vehicle, laying against that store on the accident scene, whoever made that statement that, Senator Delon will be inside, that person is a fool. And I'm saying it. Whoever made that statement that, they went over the senator to be inside for the car to make the accident, that person is a disaster. They are a total disappointment to their family, to their entire tribe, to whatever country they are from, and Liberia as a country. Under no condition should we allow our political differences reach to the point where we want one another dead. That is totally uncalled for. It is uncivilized to do. Liberians did that on social media. Sadly, people who are supposed to know better, people who are supposed to be educated, people who are supposed to guide the moral consciousness of the society, were flirting around social media and playing phone out of somebody. I mean, this is terrible. You don't do that to the country now. You don't do it. And that's why the guy who mentioned the Delon issue, that's what I said. If he's listening, he's a fool. And he should be ashamed of himself. He should be ashamed of himself to have said that kind of nonsense. You can hit Delon for whatever you'd want to do. But once the person is involved with something as terrible as accident or so, no, you don't want to do that. You don't want to play politics with that one. That one is no political. And as I said it, we should not do these things. They may accident cover for forget it. When they do that, I want to person politically, they sack somebody. No, I want a politics now. You go do your prerogative. The president appointed you in some way, somehow you must be able to sack you. Everybody can vote you. You go a political party election, we can vote you on it and stuff. You can do that. But to want to argue that because he's the Minister of Finance and there were financial difficulties and challenges associated with his office in terms of payment of salaries and so forth, and so since people were not paying and he made accidents, so it is worth celebrating. You don't do that. No, how do you reconcile, doing that thing and you going to the church or going to the mosque every Friday and Sunday? How do you reconcile it? That you take pride in somebody, having accident, you take pride in celebrating it. But on Friday, you go to the mosque, you go pray. On Sunday, you go to the church, you go pray. How do you reconcile such a devilish attitude, with your religion, with your moral values, with your moral understanding of things? So sometimes let the politics slide. Yeah, we can disagree to agree. During political times, when people make political statements, we can turn that statement around, we can do stuff. But it should not reach to that level. Never, it should not. Especially when the person is directly in the situation, Alexa. In the interior, when a child is drowning in the river or any creek or any water, for example, even in the Atlantic Ocean, whatever the case is, when a kid is drowning, or anybody else for that matter, it may not even be, a kid necessarily. When a child is drowning in the water, our people have got a particular parable that says you can take the child from the water before you beat on them. You can take the child from the water before you beat them up to vomit the excess water they took, or before you beat on them, as a deterrent so that they will not go venturing around the water anymore. Those of us who live around the Kavala River, we know this. For those of you who live around the Stockton Creek, in the Jamaica Road, Joe Comeda, Vartown area, Cardwell, St. Paul Bridge, those of you who live along the river banks in the ocean, you know this. When the child is drowning, the focus of the people can be to go and rescue the kid. Even when that child is the child of an enemy to an individual, that person will put the child and the child's parents and their personal confusion aside. They will jump in the water, do the swimming, rescue the kid. When the kid is up, they say that just for God, I bring you outside. Your partner speaking to me that because of God, I brought you outside. Or the parent will come and say, you, Sunday ball, gym ball, trouble ball, whatever ball or case. And they start slapping and poop, and we tell you not to come to the water, and we tell you not to come. But the child can be in the water, drowning, fighting for their life. Then you on the show, you say, we've been telling the beginning to be coming to the water. We've been telling the beginning, you are not going there to rescue him. You're standing on the shore instead of helping the kid out of the water. You're just standing, we've been telling the boy not to come to the water. They begin frisky. After school, for him to sit under the hall, every day coming to the beach. That's not how we were taught. The man is still going through his treatment. The man made accident today. In the evening, you're saying that nonsense when he has not recovered. No, when the man recover, maybe you can come and say, Mr. Toyota, I will keep telling you, put enough money in the budget so that the road the president paying to go to Lofa, so that the road, a project can be expedited. Maybe you want to have that kind of conversation. It may sound reasonable. It may sound, logical. Even though people may not want to agree with you, proceeding in that manner. But by then, the terrain would have been a little bit conducive for such a critical conversation. But the man is still struggling with his life. He's still facing medical procedures. He's still going through his medical stuff. He is not released from the hospital yet. He is yet to be discharged. While he's going through needles, he's going through medical treatment, you are there uttering hateful messages. I just told you what our people normally do. They will wait until the child is rescued from the water before they come with all of their heavy bazooka and whatever the case is. That's how we were taught. How come we are forgetting our own moral standards? How come the way we were taught, we are forgetting about it? How come we are no longer people of moral consciousness? Oh, that the government job business? That because you want to be a government official, that because you want to take power. So, even if a Liberian who, when you go deeper, that person may be related to you.
That because of the government job, you will wish them evil? Oh, so we reach to that point where we're so bad up now? Have we gone to that level? We gotta stop. It is inappropriate to do. There should be no reason why we should even start to think that low. It's sad. No, maybe after 2-3 weeks, the minister come back, he said now the CEO or somewhere on one radio station in talking, say, yeah, Mr. Joe, we hear you, you okay, you strong now, but you see where you made it. I said, we don't know what was the situation, but if it was a raw issue, it should tell you that we need additional roads to be built and we need more money to be pumped into. When you make kind of conversation, it makes sense. But the man is still down the line. You say any kind of stuff. The good thing is that people who are saying they are not giving social media, guidance. So I mean, he didn't see the messages, but it is now a good thing for the person recovering. And that's why I asked Ebi yesterday when Senator Delon Carr was involved with that accident thing. I asked Ebi whether he knew the guy who shouted and said, "I wish Senator Delon in the car." If he knew that guy, we will find him and make him to understand that beyond politics, we should be our brother's keeper. What the hell will you even be wishing for Senator Delon to be in the car? What the hell? Why would you want to do that? What benefit is it going to give you? You can hate Senator Delon for whatever the reason is, whatever your reasons may be, right? Whatever justifiable reasons you may have, they may be justifiable to you. You can hate him, but to want to wish for he to have been in the vehicle at the time of the accident was totally uncalled for yesterday. Had I seen that person, I would have blasted at them. I would have made them to understand that they are terribly, terribly wrong. They are irrational. And their attitude yesterday was a clear exhibition of irresponsibility. That's what they did. That's been premature. Nobody who go to school, nobody with a good upbringing, nobody with moral, traditional values will choose to celebrate somebody going through struggle. Come on, watch football game. Come on, watch football game. On the field of play, the two teams will be competing to win the 3 points. But when an individual is injured on the playing page, the players from the opposite team will normally come around and provide some form of moral support, encouragement for the other player. Oh, my man, you'll soon get better. You can make it. That's what they do. You don't find Barcelona players celebrating when a player of another team is down on the ground struggling with injuries. You don't see that. You don't see that happening. And these are people who are supposed to be footballers. These are people who people do not expect to have a lot of intellectual reasoning. Right? And that's the perception of people now. So how come politicians who say they know it all, how come politicians who are supposed to be the bastion of societal consciousness will go to the level, go as low as making caricature of people's situation, especially when they're still going through it? Yes, we can do politics. Yes, we can put a spin on too many things. We can make, look, you can even make that whole accident thing to be a political discussion, but wait, why are you in so much hurry? Let him get through. Let him recover. Politics time. He said, "Yeah, my man. Oh, you talking about road again? In road good, you're not going to make an accident. You're not going to fall down." That's when you say, although it will not be appropriate at that time when you're saying it, it will not be necessary for you to say it. It will not be a good thing. But see, you want to do politics, maybe the time frame can be okay for that moment. By then, they may already recover. There will be some psychological, effect. He's going to be traumatized. He's going to be, feeling. It's going to be an art of bullying him, but the devastating effect would have reduced by then, not as compared to the current state he was in on the very day of the accident when you were pouring out hate messages. You're not doing it to him. You're only painting an image of the kind of people Liberians are. Somebody told me I'm yet to verify the information, and that's why I'm not going to mention the name of the country. Somebody told me there is a country in West Africa where whole bus full of human beings, the transport buses, Alexa, bus can be accident. Somebody say people can be celebrating. Say thank God, all the men who die to their offices, to their workplaces, there will be vacancy for us to go and get job. Somebody told me it happens in one of the African countries. I've not verified that, so I can mention the name of the country. That's not a decent thing to do. We have not reached to that level. Right? We have not reached to that level. And so we thought to have this issue flagged on this platform today, so that we will understand that beyond politics, we are who we are. We are who we are. And that's the reason why you may hate President Weah for whatever reasons, but there is one thing you can't take from President Weah, and that issue is his ability to tolerate people even when they do not share the same political views that he as an individual, subscribes to. That's who he is. You saw the elections in 2017. You saw the list of individuals who contested against the president. Several of them wanted to unseat Madam Joy Howard Taylor at the ballot box. I mean, they wanted to take the same position she's occupying at the moment. I beg your pardon. When the president came to power, what did he do? He ran for those same people and brought them into government. The man who contested with Alice Cummings, Jeremiah Solonte, he brought the paper on board. The man who contested with Benina Ure, Alexander Dopo, he brought the paper on board. The man who contested with Charles Walker Bronskin, Harrison Conway, he brought the paper on board. Now, the most shocking one had to do with the vice running mate to Joe Barker, Honorable James Emmanuel Nukwe. The man who went bottleneck with him, neck to neck in the elections. After the elections, he went and brought Honorable Nukwe on board. Now, I'm not mentioning these people, to appear that they're not Liberians or so, but in contemporary African political space, not many African leaders will do that. It will require serious-minded, degree of tolerance for a typical African politician to grab key members of the opposition community and give them strategic position in the government. The airport authority, the civil aviation authority, is not a joke play. No, it's not a joking area. He took the man who would have become vice president had Joseph Barker won. He took the man and made him the head of that entity. That is reconciliation. That is to say, beyond politics, we are Liberians. That is to say, what we are into is not do or die. It is not death or life. It is just a part of the democratic process that people should agree and disagree on policy issues. People should subscribe to their own political agenda. In the end, the country should survive. Now, if our political differences will leave this area of intellectual understanding of things and reach to the point where we would not want to see ourselves living, where you want this person to die and that other person will die, the next time, before you come to yourself, in 4 or 5 years' time, the population will be no more because everybody will be wishing for everybody to die. Now, what will you have as a country? What will you have as a workforce? Now, you know what's going to happen? You know what's going to happen? It doesn't say anything good about the image of the country out there. Now, think about it, Alexa. Are they thinking what people who were serving the internet for Liberia? Are they thinking what impression those people will be having about Liberians? Or the white man is sitting down in his white man country. He's either in Bolivia, he's in Singapore, he's there in Honduras, out of Panama, somewhere else around the world. He's thinking about coming to Liberia to invest. He punches Liberia on the internet in the search engine. As Liberia is coming up with several other suggestions, the next thing you see, people celebrating the minister getting involved with accident. The first thing that will come to the mind of that person is the people of Liberia are full of hate. That's the first thing that will raise in your mind. They do not love one another. If they cannot love one another, they will not love strangers. That man there is a likelihood that the man will pack all of his belongings. If he had if he had intentions of having airport, air ticket, or reservation or so, he will want to change his mind to go to another country. Because the national kind of mind is, if these people can be wishing for their own brothers and sisters to die, what about us foreigners? What guarantee do we have in their area? I thought they are supposed to be united to go against us, we who are not from there. But if they are going to the extent of celebrating, tragedy, especially when it befalls on one of them, then they are not people to go to do investment. When you do these things, you think you're playing politics, but you're damaging the image of the country. And some of you who are aspiring to become national leaders, you will face the consequences of these actions, because whatever you're doing today, there are effects that will come in the coming years. Assuming any of you will take state power, whether next year, 2029, 2050, 20 whatever, the things you're doing at the moment will have their own consequences attacking you, because it will take time to repel. Now, that person who read the internet 3 days ago, Alexa, and saw Liberian celebrating somebody made accident, you know how many years that person would take to be coming by every time and be monitoring the Liberian space to know whether the people change. You know how many years it would take for the men to be researching, Liberian people change now, and they let each other this time. You know how long it's going to take for that person to redesign their mind in considering this place to be a place to come and invest. You know how long it's going to take? It's going to take like forever. So when we do things, we should be very cautious in the way we proceed, because the consequences are very grave for us to bear as a country. In no politics you do that nonsense. That thing you own in no politics. It is not. That nonsense you own. And so we got to stop. We have to stop. And that's how we talk about salaries. Today is the 30th of November. There are officials of government, civil servants of government, contractors, folks in the government, those on the payroll. Just to combine it, government employees are receiving their November pay as of today's date. And one of the reasons why people were like celebrating the minister having the accident stuff, and we wish him speedy recovery, Alexa, is because according to them, the minister not paid them for October. No, Alexa, let me be honest now. Come to think of it, and you pay for the nurse who's going to treat you to JFK, the nurse not take pay for October. And because you think you did not take pay for October, assuming that is your justifiable reason, so it is good enough for you to celebrate somebody. Yeah.
There's no justification for wishing death upon someone, no matter what the case is.
This same man, Alexa, that you say, they not pay you for October. When we had COVID-19 in this country, when the country was faced with the COVID-19 dilemma, the government took a decision to lay out, not to put them down for the payroll. The government took a decision to control the number of individuals that will be seen at the different ministries, agencies, public corporations, and state-owned enterprises. Bulk of the people who are always in the business of making noise for salaries are non-essential government employees. What did the government do? The government said, go home, sit down home. We will pay your salaries. A little over 8 months, between 6 to 8 months, people sat down home in this country without going to job. All through that COVID-19 period, where you were going nowhere, you were not going to your offices, the government of Liberia kept salary consistent and on time. You were being paid while sitting home. The minister said, and prior to his situation, he said the issue of not paying salary, are technical issues that needed to have been dealt with internally. and they were working on it so that they will not make mistake in delivering the November, December salary. October, November, December salary, so that the country cannot encounter something very difficult. So they needed to take their time in settling whatever technical glitch or whatever technical situation they may have encountered. That was the minister's justification. So if you did not receive common October salary, that was somebody will die. That's why you celebrating, you're wishing for somebody to die. This man who you're wishing to die, we're not being passionate about it, but you sat at home now. Up to 6 months, you sat at home. Other government across the world laid down, they laid people off. They told people to, in fact, they made it clear that, hey, we are not generating taxes, we're not operating, and so you go home, you go lay down. All we'll do, we'll provide stimulus packages. We'll get you curry, we'll get you food stamp, we'll do this one, but we're not paying salary because we're not generating money. Some governments, they reduce the amount of money their employees were making because they were encountering lockdown. In this country, nobody's salary was reduced during lockdown. And the entire period of the lockdown in this country, every civil servant received the payment. So, the issue of course, it is a good thing for anybody who is working for you to be paid on time. I don't support people working for you and you ain't paid on time. But sometimes people should be very reasonable, and people should have that sense of reasoning. People should learn that. The government did not question anybody during the lockdown. Say, yes, now who we are working will pay you, will give you free money. The government did not say that. So if there are technical issues for which you are not taking pay, sometimes you exercise some level of restraint. We need to pay out. We agree. Times are hard. There are technical situations. Too many things happening, and that's why every day on the radio, behind the radio, we are pressurizing people to keep paying government officials, to keep paying civil servants, because those who are civil servants are the ones, in most cases, who are the real weight lifters. They are the ones who can do the original day-to-day job. So our effort is for all of them to always be paid. We are on record, Elisha and I, and all of the people on the radio station, plus some other decent radio stations in the country, we've always championed the cause of civil servants taking their pay. I would never ever support civil servants going to work and they're not be paid on time. But when there are issues for which a month's salary, October, we went 1 week, 2 weeks, into November, and October was yet to be paid. People started wishing, me will survive an accident. Are you kidding me? The same man who you said shouldn't have survived the accident, signed your paycheck for almost 6-8 months when you sat down home. You were only taking pay and putting food to your house. You were doing no job. I'm gonna tell you that when you come an employee, it means even you wear so take pay. Why will you not go to work? They can mark you absent. Why the HR in your different department can mark you absent when you not go to work? Because you have been paid to do a particular job. In the case of COVID, you sat down home. You lifted no pen. You transferred no files. You recorded no letter. You attended no meeting. You had no workshop. You did absolutely nothing. And you took home pay for up to 8 months in this country. So if there are critical times in the country, or maybe some technical issues affecting the delivery of payment, is that one genuine enough? Is that one good enough? Is that one sufficient for you to wish people evil? And we say we can go to church in this country, and we say we can go to mosque in this country, and some of us say we are traditionally, trained, and we believe in our tradition. No. What do we say about traditional values then? What do we say about the sermons you listen to in your churches and in the mosques? What do we say about that? Come on, pay. Come on. Yeah. Just pay me. And that's why, as we were processing all of this information, I was like, the folks that designed the government of Liberia right after the war in 2005, the folks that designed the government of Liberia in 2005, right after the war, I am saying to you, they didn't do justice to this country. They didn't do justice to the country. And the reasons are clear. And like I said, fellow Liberians, when you check every ministry, agency, public corporation, and state-owned enterprise in this country, there are employees sitting in those ministries and agencies so when they can test paper for 3 years in row. Hello? I say the paper later, you take it, you put it on the other chair, then you sit down inside. No, that's not what I'm saying. I don't say you go meet paper that somebody say, well, man, please give me that paper. I mean, where you supposed to face small report, or somebody bring report to you, you endorse it, or you peruse it, you view it, yeah, do some editing. There are people assigned administrators and agencies, public corporation. In the morning they dress up, they see the ministry bus, they stop the bus, they get inside. 5 o'clock, the bus go into their community direction. They join the ministry bus. They come. There are people in the country who work in the country for over 3 years. Some of them, from the very day they enter government, they have never received any paper to do something on it. To say, the paper is for me. Per my statutory responsibility in the office, I am supposed to receive this document, review it, take an action on it, and forward it to the next line of action. There are people who, from the day they were appointed, they never do that thing in the country. Some of them do not even have offices. Okay. Even the ones that got office where over 10 persons are entitled to, some of them not even get seat in the office. We have proliferation of jobs in this country with no job description. And we keep complaining every year why we're not pumping money into the health sector. We're not pumping money into, because the salary alone in this country constitute a lot. These are things people will not say for political reasons. But if we should develop the country, there's some. I mean, I'm saying these things because not all of the civil servants are bad. Not everybody on government payroll are terrible. But there are some folks, especially when they can do nothing. Yeah, there are some folks who are really, really busy every day. They're typing letters. They will send the paper from the other office to the other office. They're running from place to place, forwarding documents. Don't want to work in. They're doing stuff. Some got nothing at all. And they will be the first to go to social media. We take pay here. While the real guys who working, doing the real job, they are quiet. They're not even saying anything. And it is because you got too many people in too many areas with no productivity. That's why we go and look at the Ministry of Public Works employee listing, for example. We should have a little over 200 human beings at the Ministry of Public Works on payroll. That's my unofficial, stocks. How many public work inspectors you can see around the country? How many of them? I mean, everybody is confined to one building. I'm just using public work for as an example. That is across to all of the different entities. That is across to all of the different entities. Now, when you find these things happening in the country, it doesn't improve this thing we call productivity. No. Because you got plenty of people sitting there in one office, ain't got nothing to do that. So in the end, men are becoming champions of gossip. Because you got 5 men in one office, men, they're doing nothing. The next thing the man has said the top working, the top walk up, the top woman bene, the top alcohol bene, the top different thing back at Chelsea, 4 o'clock to go, the next day they come back. You get 5 guys sitting there behind one table, behind one desk, they don't get nothing to do. They go to the top of buffering bene, the top seashore bene, the top how to go to swimming pool, the top how to go to the beach. They got nothing to do. The month ends. By the time you delay that pay for 1 month, boom, they're on social media. Oh, we need to pay out. We need to. That's the and that's why I said There is nothing wrong with having these people on the payroll, but I am looking for a moment where a government in the country will start to redefine the statutory responsibility of some of the people in these areas. The way you do that is to redesign the government. Some ministries just got 2 million people on payroll that should not be there. So what we do, we're not sacking them because we gotta keep the employment level at a certain place. But what we do, we find job for them. Because some of the reasons why the government payroll can delay, the government payment system can delay, is because revenue generation is a problem. Government can generate a lot of money, so sometimes the pay is out of trouble. Government gotta wait. When somebody comes in, then they pay. So who's supposed to ensure that government get money? Those on the payroll supposed to navigate, supposed to be innovative enough to bring money to the country. The way you do it is through several of the different policy enforcement issues. We have a law in this country on water, sanitation, and hygiene. But right in the country, every freaking public office, every home supposed to have bathroom facilities. You should have a toilet facility. You should have a place where people can bathe. Sanitation got to be intact. And to do that is to have a stronger water, sanitation, and hygiene commission. How many of the employees do we have at Water, Sanitation, and Hygiene Commission? How many? We got about 86. 86 to 100% on WASH payroll. It should not be. 100% alone cannot effectively monitor Monserrato to ensure that every home, every structure is in compliance with the WASH policy of our country, the WASH law. Now, my idea is that in the Ministry of Finance, in the Ministry of Public Works, the Ministry of Post and Telecommunication, there are Pikine, there are some Jude, there got some boys, girls who do not have anything decent to do, nothing to do in the ministry. Take the people from there, send them to places like the enforcement agencies, send them to WASH Commission. You are not sacking them, you're sending them there with their same salary. In that area, you are telling them to become inspectors of WASH. This time around, what are they going to do? They will join the current team of WASH inspectors to make sure that all of the hotels in Liberia will smell nice. Their bathroom will smell nice. Their bathroom will be clean up. The restaurants will have clean bathrooms. The schools will have clean bathrooms. All of these different businesses will have good bathrooms. You know, people renting houses will have bathrooms for their tenants. We call it renters in Liberia, which is wrong. Yeah, they're not renters, they are tenants. All of the landlords and landladies in this country will build their houses and their homes to be connected to clean latrines, clean bathroom facilities so that sanitation will be upheld in the country. Now, the way you do it is to go to Public Works, for example, and take the over 100 human beings who sitting down there, they ain't doing nothing, and send it to WASH Commission. Let them become WASH inspectors. They stay on the payroll. They are still on the payroll, but this time around, they are assigned to WASH, and WASH will ensure that they are deployed across the country. Their deployment will see to it that they will enforce the WASH policy. Now, as they are enforcing the policy, you know what's going to happen? If they come to Freedom Heaven, for example, they're going to monitor Freedom Heaven bathroom. Freedom Heaven, do you have water in your bathroom? Is the bathroom clean? Is it okay? You know, is the environment, well sanitized? If Freedom Heaven is in compliance, boom, they give our certificate. We pay for that certificate. Almost a driver license and car registration. Every year, we renew our WASH certificate. That is additional revenue in government covers. Now, imagine were we to have a robust WASH sector that will do those things. The way we do it is to reduce most of the men who left basic. You got plenty of left basic people in the country on government payroll. Some of them working Ministry of Lands Mine, they're doing nothing there. Ministry of Foreign Affairs, they just there. They just wake up 2 months, dress up, the women take the makeup box, they take the lace pay, they take the day one, they just painting their eyebrow, painting their nose. When the salary is delayed 1 month, oh boom, they start causing out. We take pay yet. Take these people, these non-essential staff, take them and make them essential. The way you do it is to find these policy areas that are good enough to generate money and send them there and let them improve the productivity of those entities. I use WASH as an example. The thing Mirabel doing today, and not Mirabel so to do it. Go to Ministry of Internal Affairs. There are some people sitting down there, they got no job to do. 10 men in one office, no job description. But the boss, they say, you can get a letter, 3 men jump out to get 1 letter. That's waste of productivity. What do you do in that situation? You go to that office, so look, Madam Minister or Mr. David Minister, you got 15 person in your office. My man, what the person job description? What they want? You know what we'll do? We won't leave with 4. We'll leave with 4 person in the office. The rest of the 11, y'all jump behind me, let go. You go, you get LEC 5, you tell another 5, go to water and see what. They're still on the payroll. The payroll is still intact. You are not sacking anybody. But what you are doing is to improve productivity. That's what you're doing. Hey man, that thing they call, that common sense. That common sense we're going to be using in the country to help the government succeed. Go jump to Ministry of Transport. So many they not get no job there. So you clear that one and put it in jacket and then go do it. You go do inspection. If you got plenty of them around doing inspection, you will not be doing inspection, like you say, because 24 hours they'll be helping the police at every point in time to do inspection, and people will be made to understand. The ministry and agency plenty, where you got plenty of people to sit down. As we're speaking, they're in their bosses, they're in their ministry bosses, they're going home, they know what I'm saying, the truth. They know, say, most of them today, they can't work. Most of them know, say, they do nothing there. Plenty of them know, say, from in the morning to 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12, they leave office, they go sit down, they eat, they drink liquor, they go back 2 o'clock, they continue gossiping, 4 o'clock, they wear the seat, they go by the next day, by the time they take pay, they go buy new clothes, wear new. That is not going to build the country. Because when you think about it, these are people who are receiving a good portion of the money the government can generate every year. So the way we make the government to be productive is to have a productive workforce. The workforce we have in the country is a bluffing workforce. That they don't want when salary delay 1 minute, the whole world will hear say in Liberia, people not take pay today. That they don't want to do it. That they don't want in Liberia today when salary delay by 2 seconds, the whole world, you even in Nigeria, you know say people not take pay in Liberia because the noise can be all on Facebook. The way we change that narrative is to grab most of the people who are not productive. Check the ministry today. I got to know. Look at the Ministry of Information, Cultural Affairs and Tourism recently. You have a little while, it is somebody will be sitting at the play, they protesting, they today pay, the house salary good, they're not good. If we improve the salary and reassign it to different entities, reassign them to different entities and let them make sure that the entities you send them to, they will be productive. We are talking about Ministry of Commerce. Commerce Ministry is unable to control simple price regulation in the country because they are understaffed. How many commerce inspectors we got in the country? We don't even got good 100 commerce inspectors in the country. So what we do, we go to the other ministry, most of the beginning there who just playing card, playing Lulu, playing Candy Crush on their phone, playing Zuma games, watching football games. People in Nigeria is on. They use the office Wi-Fi to watch people in Nigeria doing working hours. Go there, don't matter who don't get plenty of job. One minister get 4, 5, 10 person way, just leave 3 way in there. Then say, man, don't matter who taking their own payroll or who reassign them. Catch money to come ministry and make them come inspectors. Let them go. Let them be assigned to different districts in the country. Let them ensure that if this shop is supposed to be a wholesale shop, let them be a wholesale shop. If this person is supposed to sell rice at that level, let them sell it. When you do that, you increase productivity. You increase revenue. In that situation, the men who are working will generate their own money. That's simple thing here. Simple. They will make their own money. But you make the people to be lazy. They are used to being lazy. So by the time you delay the pay, boom, they put pressure on you. Like here now, pay delay 1 month, they put pressure on Minister Twai. And that's what we keep telling Minister Twai. And the rest of the people in the Ministry of Finance, even when Minister Twai is gone today, as if he's not finance minister, if he leaves the position today, another person come and become finance minister. If we don't redesign how our employees in the government will perform and how they will become productive, and we don't go back to the drawing board to redistribute the labor, when you be paying more salary free, because real life, the minute in government, they're not working. Real life, real life, no work there. You see why Liberia development, I mean, the developmental pace of this country, you see why it is not moving stronger? Because places are supposed to give out more money, they're not. Water and seawater, the government spending good money from White Plains to do a brand new construction of pipelines to come to Monrovia. We need serious-minded, how you call this thing, inspectors from the Water and Seawater Commission. The Liberia Water and Seawater Corporation should have good inspectors. They want to get there. They're not even more than 75. The rest of the other one that gets funny paperwork. Redesign all the things and find different job description. Send a man, let the man become supervisor. Let them become, monitors. They can be supervisor. They can be, how you call this thing, a coordinator. They can be inspectors. Let them make sure that people who got pipeline water to their homes are duly and legally connected to the water and sewer payment system through the Liberia Revenue Authority or whatever system that will put money into the covers. But you see, that's nonsense. People the water and sewer, they say, they're not taking pay for over 8 months, 9 months, this and that. But they are supposed to make sure that people who they're giving water to pay. Right, LEC? America got to help them before people start to recharge meters. People who are on the payroll should be made to work. They should contribute towards the money that they are receiving. In the private school, the teachers who teaching, and the teacher ain't go to school to teach, the student will not attend. Once the student ain't attend, the parent will not pay money, the students, the teachers themselves will not take pay. That is how life is. People got to contribute towards something. There is nothing free. But we have a kind of governance system that is so, and I know most of the civil servants, especially the one who lazy, the one who knows they ain't got nothing to do, they're angry right now. But trust me, that is the fact. In fact, that's why some of you're civil servants, you've been in the government for over 10 years, over 15 years, but no experience because you're not doing anything there. You're not doing anything there. No experience there. The only thing you know there how to go buy the Bosman food. You go buy Bosman rest. You come and Bosman one scratch car. You go buy Bosman scratch car. You come back. Now, nothing there. Most of y'all are your job. The Bosman will buy food. You go buy food. Your Bosman will go buy scratch car. You go buy the Bosman scratch car. That is not an experience. Anybody can buy scratch car. I can grab anybody, call the person here. When the person get bushy hair like me, I will call the person here, put cool clothes on them, bring them in my office, and I do buy scratch car. They will go buy it. After 10 years, what benefit is that person going to bring to the table? That Liberian get people who can go buy scratch car and go buy Kobo. So your job in the office is okay. My man, it's 10 o'clock now. Go to Boulevard Palace. We're food ready. Why all of the restaurants and cook shop in the country start to do delivery? So you got no job in the offices. So we are saying let there be redistribution of the civil service in this country. The CSA, the Ministry of Finance, the Ministry of that's the same thing. Finance Development Planning. They got to go back to the drawing board. We're not saying sack anybody, but the people who are receiving the money, let's redistribute. The labor. Let people be made to understand, let people be made to contribute immensely to the system. So that when you demand a salary, we can understand. But when you do nothing, but you demand a salary, when you didn't delay 1 month, you veg, just say, see what you can do. Then you reach to the point where you won't kill somebody because you say the delay of pay for 1 month. Yeah? I mean, it's unfortunate. We should not do that as a country. We respect everybody. Liberia is a good country. Our civil servants, beyond all measures, they are decent people. Most of them are good people. Some of them are very, 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 troublesome. Let it cause noise about salary issue in 2 minutes solve. But I think the way we can solve this in the long term is to redistribute labor. Plenty of people resting in plenty of places they should not be resting. The more you put money there, the more it's going to happen. Yeah, that's how it's going to be. And so we're not going to, waste our time on too many of these issues. I told you about a situation involving Mr. Cummings and how he paid plenty of Maryland and Grand Cruz Sando global organization to petition on Clarendon fee. We got some of the recording. We're still working on it. We're still trying to, get all of the technical stuff. By the time we are done with it, by tomorrow, we'll come with a lot of those informations and let you know exactly what's happening in the country. You know, to pay people to petition you, you're deceiving yourself because they will not vote for you. In the end, you say, "Oh, I put a cry and I get a number." That's not. I mean, we're trying to do everything that will prevent noise in the end. You know, and so we'll have that conversation tomorrow. But as I submit, you know, maybe Alexa will add stuff to it. You know, as I submit on this issue, I'm going to be very clear. In as much as we do not support people being owed their salaries for a very long time, which is not good. When the person is working, let the person be paid. That's what we say. When the person is working, let the person be paid. That's what the law says. And we find our government holding people money. But if there are technical issues, the government herself, the civil servants themselves, should be able to understand. And some of them should refrain from breathing thunderstorm because something has been delayed. Listen, government pay you when you are doing nothing for several months. So I'm saying this to encourage all of us that in the long run, so that this salary thing will not be happening, let's take most of the people who are not doing weird thing. Yeah, I think clear. Most of the people ain't doing anything correct. Let's take them up, reassign them, let them go with the same salary. Don't change somebody's salary. Don't reduce it. Don't take nothing for one. Let them go with the different area, reassign them. If the qualifications say let them be coordinator in the area you're sending them, they can be coordinator for LEC inspectors. They can be supervisor for water and sewer inspectors. They can be supervisor for wash, inspectors. They can be this for the other one. There are plenty of areas in this country we are not paying attention in terms of how you call this thing. There are plenty of areas in the country that we are not paying attention in terms of enforcing the policies. If we just choose to enforce our policy in this country, we will make more money in this country that will pay salary. Even on the 26th salary will be paid in the country every month. I just told you, one of the places that real estate, one of the places in the country that real estate, that one of the places, y'all who were using community currency, those of you who are using community currency before LEC can go to your community, the generator man, I'm always practical in my analysis, and that's the way it will resonate with the people who are supposed to receive the information. That's just me, right? Call it bragging, whatever, that's your business. The generator man in the community, the generator man got one labor who can be with him, that our boy can collect the money every Sunday. Allah. Those who have been using community current, the generator man, the people who got a machine, he got one picking with him who can help him collect the money. When your line get problem, that I picking too can fix the line. You see how effective that generator business can be, because every Sunday that picking go around and collect money, they get the money, that money they can use to buy fuel for the next week to put current on for you to get money, for you to get current. At the end of the week, the man take the money from you again, he take a profit, he buy fuel, and get your current. You see how effective it is? And they make it bring current on time because you can pay on time. That's the approach I'm suggesting we take to government. The Candy Crush, Zuma players, Facebookers, Big Brother Naja, or show, viewers and stuff, reassign them to these places. Real estate alone is one. There are plenty of houses in the town where people are renting. Plenty of structures in Liberia where the landlord is giving to people to be renting, paying money. These houses are not paying taxes to the government. LRA is understaffed. How many LRA officers you will see go across all the country, all of the different districts, the different zones, the different blocks to be able to do it? But if we go to the Ministry of Finance, I bet you none of you must go Ministry of Finance. We can check 150 human beings. We're not doing nothing. They don't even. So when they start working there, they don't even know. They even know when government pay is ready. They don't even know. But they working Ministry of Finance. That's how people are assigned to places where they don't even know what to do. They just work out in the morning, dress up fine, go to no. The country should not be dressing country. A place that is underdeveloped should not be bluffing place. Put jackets on them. Let them wear jackets. Let them be in the inspectorate form. They will make their own salary, but let them contribute towards ensuring that salary is generated. That's the message we are pushing. If all of the hustlers in the country paying their real estate tax, even when at $10, the hustlers in the country paying for taxes for real estate tax per year. Do that by the number of houses in the country, and come back to me and come tell me how much million that will finish generating. Real estate alone, if government can reassign most of the non-essential employees, reassign them to LRA, for example, and other agencies that will be responsible for tax compliance, fire extinguisher compliance, sanitation compliance. If the government can reassign some of these workers to these entities and enforce all of these regulations, government can generate money just from the real estate structures in this country. Government can generate up to 4 months' salaries. General people paying their bills. Think about all the hustlers in Buchanan when they decide to pay $20 US a year for how you call it thing, for real estate tax. Think about it. Think about every house in Buchanan paying about $10 US a year for water, sanitation, and hygiene in the event where their facilities are cleaned up and approved and certificated by WASH. Think about that one. Think about it. Think about all of the businesses in this country having their fire service certificate. But you will need bulk of the people, because we can recruit new people now. We recruit new people, we just be high in the payroll, or the payroll will be messy. It will get hard on the pay salary. You bring any other person. Once we are not generating more money in the country as a government, we will not pay salary on time. No politician will fool you. The way we do it is to redistribute the labor that we have so that productivity will be the hallmark of the day. When you get people to pay real estate taxes and do other compliance issues across the country, businesses that are operating, we ensure that they are in compliance with the tax law. Their business registration, is normally renewed every year. They pay their business registration fees. Come on, we will generate up to 4 or 5 million. I don't add it to generating a few Freeport, the driver lesson, the airport, LPRC intake, maritime intake. Before we do it, the whole country, we good. We can pay salary even on the 2027, and we're building roads. But the way we started is to remove most of the people from the lazy spot and get them to work. They themselves know the thing I'm talking at you. It's hurting, but that's the reality. Because at the same minute who can go to work, they be viewing Facebook all day, Nigeria found, Ghana found, Sierra Leone found. These places, people are at work. Tanzania, we're talking about Rwanda and Liberia fall water. The same way in Rwanda, the employees there are not Facebookers. The employees in Rwanda will not leave the work in Kigali and start thinking about what happening in Lagos, Nigeria, with people in Nigeria. Yeah, what money do they want? Liquorous, the other one do. What has that got to do with your job, administration of finance? But you said none of that as one. In the job, they plenty Alexa, desk officer, procurement specialist, this. Some of the jobs that you want to do. So the way we do it, when taking your payroll, you remain on your salary, but we send you to pay where you work and contribute towards generating the money. So that when the government says, we owe you for 2-3 weeks, you will get real ground to cause trouble because you're contributing towards that money coming. But you must answer sincerely. The way you're going home now, today, Wednesday, Alexa, the way you're going home now, be asking yourself in that boss, they play where I come from. The thing what I do, how is it going to help generate money to pay me? I answer that question, and you will know, you understand that nothing you do today, nothing you're able to do. I mean, it's hurting you, right? But that's the fact. 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 30 years from now, if governments to come or continue on the path, you will have a group of employees on the government payroll who will not be productive. That's simple knowledge. I will talk to my Alexa. Maybe after you, then we open up the line for our pull to talk. But while we appreciate the salary issue, we should also be thinking of ways that people themselves will be of help to the system, so that in the end, the country will move forward. That's all I can say on the discourse.
Well, I'm just going to maintain, as a people, I think it is important to embrace the difference in ourselves. I will say this because this has been one issue on the social media. It has been one issue everywhere. And I think we have to discourage this over and over and over again. So I'm just going to restate basically what I said earlier in different words. It doesn't matter where this person is from. It doesn't matter what belief the person ascribed to. It doesn't matter whatever view that person has. What is very important as a people is the fact that we should do away with wishing evil upon another person just because you disagree with the person. Like Oliver said it quite clear. If you're going to wish someone evil just because according to you have not taken pay, I mean, it doesn't say a lot. It doesn't say anything good about you. You know why? Because in as much as we keep advocating over and over again, in as much as we keep saying civil servants have to be paid on a daily basis, because of course they work and at the end of the month they have to receive their pay, because no one wants to work for free and that person doesn't get paid at the end of the month. No, it doesn't make any sense. So if we're going to sit here and tell you civil servants pay should be delayed, that means we're not being honest. In as much as we're talking about you should be paid, you should also do the work that you're supposed to be paid for. In as much as we're saying you should be paid, it should also ring a bell that you are a provider for your family, right? And the minister or the senator is also a provider for his family, right? So let's assume in your family you have your sister, you have your brother, or you have someone you're in disagreement with, because that is something that happens in a lot of families. Alexa has an issue with her brother, and at the end of the day, we're not talking, we're not speaking. So if my brother is going to be involved, in an accident, for example, does that mean I should wish death upon my brother because we're in disagreement? If that is the case, then it means I'm not being honest, because we have to put that aside and focus on the issue at hand, especially when the person is experiencing pain physically or emotionally. We want to put that aside and focus on what is at hand. So I think as much as we have all of these different issues where people are saying they're not taking pay, even though we are aware that people have already started receiving their pay, like that is like really clear. Some people are receiving pay, but then they're not being honest about it. They keep saying, no, I'm not getting this, I'm not getting that, which doesn't make any sense. Your salary is very important to you. The minister's life is very important. The senator's life is very important. So I'm not sure we should, try to compare a person's life to exactly the different salaries you're supposed to take at the end of the month. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. All these things you guys are saying, all these things you guys are doing, at the end of the day, we're going to have these people to leave government one of these days. Of course, it is going to happen. It is going to happen. So all I can say to you, Liberians should be cognizant of the fact that a lot of people are watching. Like Oliver said, there are people who are on the social media daily, and there are some of the people who are in the international space, right? So they keep watching exactly what is happening in Liberia. They keep looking for all the different hashtags. And if a person is going to see exactly that these people are wishing death upon someone, their own citizen, their own government official, that speaks volume. So you will have people to, stay away from the country. You will have people to be even afraid for their lives, Oliver, because I am not from Liberia. I don't know what will happen to me if I go over there. So just in case something happens to me, I don't know if people will be in empathy with me. So I will have to stay in my space where I feel safe. I will have to stay in my space where I feel comfortable, or where I feel protected. So I think we should really discourage that. That is way below the belt. It is way below the belt. As a people, that is not something that we should keep doing. It doesn't make any sense. As a people, we should embrace, whatever diversity we have. As a people, we should not wish evil upon another person. It is okay to stay in your space, not to wish someone well. That is up to you. Of course, that is up to you. No one will tell you it is your obligation to wish well, upon Oliver, or to wish well upon Alexa. No one will tell you that is your obligation or that is your responsibility. No. It's up to you. But wishing someone evil, nah, that is something that is very evil. That is something that is very disappointing. And that is something that is very sad. So what happens after a few years? That will be the order of the day, as it has already started right now. So I guess I'm just going to stop here. And any day, I'll keep saying this. Any day, I'll keep saying this. Do not wish evil upon your fellow human. It doesn't make any sense.
Okay. All right. So just know that Alexa and I, our position here is not to sack people. Let me get clear. We are not saying you're not useful. We are saying let them find more useful places for you to work. Yeah, let them find more useful places for you to work.
Because it doesn't make any sense. Like you're placed in a ministry or an agency.
You don't do nothing there.
Or you're not doing anything.
Let's say
at the end of the month, you're getting salary.
Yeah.
And most of the times, I mean, these are people, Oliver, who will keep discussing, oh, they
are the first to call now for pay.
This, so you're not doing that.
So let's tell you from Ministry of Finance.
If we go back, the justification of your salary. What exactly are you?
What you doing? What you contributing?
Your salary. What are you contributing?
Yeah, to lead the hall, you go pin your nose in the office. They get it, or the minute to go to how back I mess you win the world best year. Ronaldo will not get it. That nonsense will pay you for.
Go to work, focus on your work.
No, that will pay you for. So let's reassign you, come here, madam. Let's reassign you. Yeah. Instead of being a finance manager, you pin your nose. You to CBO. Yeah, your CBO, you just bluffing. You got no understanding of what's happening. Let's tell you from CBO, send you water and sewer. We assign you in Lake Preston. Yeah, go to say in Lake Preston. The minute who get water and sewer there, who not paying, you record a knee. You see that you call police, man, you disconnect what they call, make sure the minute pay to government revenue. When you do that one in Lake Preston, 5 different times, all the people in Lake Preston will get scared and start paying water bill. When they pay water bill, you know how much government will start generating, government money start getting plenty. So the more government money get plenty, government look around the 15, government see good money that pass the wage bill, I mean, they can punch salary. Your salary will be coming the same way, the same pay you're receiving, you're getting the same thing. And we know you want to go sit down, you play PS2 or you play nonsense thing on your phone, you pin your nose and you get paid on time. Then for you to get really active, in the end, you to do? Come on. Trust me, Labrador will reach to that level one day.
Yeah, it's
perhaps because of political interest, people are kind of afraid to take the kind of decision. But if we should leave that level of complacency and funny bluffing to reach a point where the country will become very productive, those are sacrifices we have to take. Yeah, Labrador workforce very lazy. Me, I want to argument the workforce there is lazy. We got to make it workable. We're opening up the lines, and I would really want people who working in government to call 086 500 104. 086 500 104, 0776 104 104 are the numbers to join the conversation here on 87.9. Call us and let's have this wonderful conversation here on 87.9. But before then, let's do this quick break. Take words from our sponsors and be right back.
We want peace in Liberia, peace in Moravia.
Yo, hello. I want to talk about violence. More violence is indiscriminate. It can happen for any reason and to anyone. Until we do something to stop the surge of vigilante-style justice in this country, none of us will be safe. My Liberia is Liberia of hope. In my Liberia, it is possible. Violence is not part of my Liberia. Violence leads to property damage, injury, or even death, as we have seen in recent months in several parts of Liberia, including Monrovia. Talk to people in your community about violence. Stand up against mob justice. Be a community hero. Liberia is all that we have. We must all unite to uphold the rule of law. Thanks for listening. This is Old Man Sam Simon.
We want peace in Liberia, peace in Monrovia.
Okay, so one peace in Liberia, peace in Monrovia. Let's open up the lines and take the first batch of calls. This person, go ahead, 1 minute. Oh my God. Sorry, I missed out on that person. Let's take this one. Hello?
Yeah, hello.
Go ahead, let's hear you.
You forget about your own practice ministry. Today, that's your book, or you saw people there, they all trying to call. You guys don't tell people.
Let leave you and take the other person. Hello, go ahead. 1 minute. Hello, go ahead. 1 minute.
Good afternoon, Pine and Alexa. My name is Otis Sankai, and I'll call you from Baton this afternoon.
Go ahead, Otis. Let's hear you.
Well, let me appreciate that so much for today's edition of the program.
Uh-huh.
With the issue of Mr. Twain, the incident that happened, you know, we as Liberians, we should return to, you talk about common sense. And I mean, we are lacking our value, traditional value, because you cannot take, I mean, things that is not in line with politics, and you want to take into consideration that the minister should have died in an accident because he's owing you for a month. And that shows those sense of humanity. And mind you, our children are watching.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we'll start to move this way on this path. They will have a serious issue in times to come about our generation. I think we that are in position now, we are at the leaders now, we should start to set an example that the children or the born generation will follow to help redeem our country from where it is. With the issue of this, you know, burden of the government revenue or pay system.
Mm-hmm. Quickly.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead quickly. End your thoughts.
Yeah, most of those guys in those ministries and agencies are burdened to the government. I say burden because you cannot take the particle approach to the ministry to help generate revenue, but you want to have the money as people say it is just there sitting and you can collect at any time. My God is challenge. Come have to raise the resources to have you paid. And like you said, majority of government money it goes to the civil servant payment. So I think they have to rearrange themselves. Particularly what you talk about, I think that people are into consideration and it will help boost and maintain them. And I mean, we'll not see the issue of salary delay or whatsoever in time to come. Thank you so much for the program again.
Thank you very much. We'll leave you. We'll take this other person. Go ahead. 1 minute. Let's hear you. Hello. Let's hear you.
Yeah. Good evening, and Alexa.
Oh my God, we are having a network issue on this line. It is terrible. This person, go ahead. 1 minute.
Hello, okay.
Go ahead, ma'am. Let's hear you.
Yeah, there is my original to the personal thing for Chigizu Saki.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all the things that you explain, the how it's supposed to be. But okay, the people will not listen to you. Nobody will ever listen to you.
Yeah, but the other woman called, she making flowers. She said, why I'm talking to her because when you check it out, that she don't want to be making up nails. Yeah, painting her lips in offices. You gotta contribute. You gotta contribute to what you are earning. It doesn't make sense. So y'all go sit down.
Somebody work up. They are working to go back over for the boss man. Somebody work up. They get there to go for the boss man. Carefree. Some of them nothing. They want to do. They want to do. Don't get yourself. The people will not listen to you. Some of them that they are children. Some of them that they are wives. Some of them that they are sisters. They get on that job. So they just want to be on the payroll. Some of them don't even come to work at all. Time for pay. Some of them want to go to the payroll to go. When other people see that they say, they fancy working here, they will be asking. That what is happening. It will not stop my mama. When I come to Samuel 12, the evil of men don't lay after them. When you pray for somebody, evil against somebody, that evil will come to you. So if they're praying for Samuel 12 to die, they don't take that. When you have somebody that don't have a drinking person, don't say about drug person that we are here on the quota, you can see somebody around. No, somebody rapping. So any wickedness that somebody will say to someone that you won't see your friend child die because now you in power, tomorrow will come, time will fail. The dead person that we have in power, all they see that you are free, it will come, it will happen. Some of them are in power today, it will happen today. No matter person that we are who will be better than who will be worse.
Thank you. We'll leave you. We'll take this person. Go ahead. 1 minute. Let's hear you. Hello?
Hello?
Go ahead. Let's hear you, sir. Quickly.
Yeah, man, as vous avez to make the memo of the skill group as an event.
1 minute, my brother.
You say all attending this wake up is on the very people let's say today to this zero ministry are not doing nothing to bring the revenue into our budget, to bring money into this country. So a lot need to be self-reliant, to active place that will be working every day. That will go say to the ministry and be paying.
Oh yeah, that's our concern. Let them remain on the payroll, but they should be assigned to real places that will make money.
Yeah, the ministry, the ministry Wi-Fi and things to be pricing and all the things and things. And so the issue of pushing people back. In this country, it was today on campus.
Oh my God, the network is terrible. We'll leave you right there. Let's take this other person. Hello, go ahead. Let's hear you.
Good morning, KOK. This is Lucine calling from USA.
Lucine from the US. Go ahead, Lucine. Let's hear you, sir.
Yeah, KOK, thank you for the education. KOK, labor problem is a historical problem. You see, our country, the division that you're saying in Liberia, it didn't start today, where you're saying people praying for cemetery, horrible thing to happen to cemetery. They think this start today, KOK. Even when you go back to our country history, KOK, the division was there from the foundation of our country, wherein people that came from the United States think that they were sophisticated, they called themselves the educated ones, and those that they met in Liberia, they said they were the inferior ones because they were not educated at that time. They couldn't even participate in government. So that DNA is within us as Liberians, okay? And that's why you're saying today. That's why you're seeing today, because even those days, people think that the new Weir couldn't even exist to be president because the division was there. Those that have that classified name from the United States think that, oh no, we are the most sophisticated people, so we should be able to lead. So today, that is the same thing that we're seeing. Even the war that we fight, okay, it started from the same United States of America because of the same hate that people have for other people. They sat here and raised money and took that war to Liberia. So that is the same thing that we're seeing. It is not new. So all we can do as young people is to continue to educate those young people that come up, because this is the thing that's going to pass on to our children. Let me tell you, okay, it's something that our children will inherit. But they will learn it.
It is bad.
And will implement the same thing.
It is bad.
It is bad.
Yeah.
It is bad because just imagine, okay, we say that in America, you got people living in America. They pray that Samuel should even go under the ground today, as you must have speaking.
Yeah.
So it's something that we got to take seriously.
Okay.
But thank you, KOK. Let me not take all the time, my brother.
Thank you very much. We'll leave you right there. We take this other international caller. What is your name and where do you join us from? Oh my God. Networking in Liberia is kind of crazy. Do we have a bad weather out there? Somebody please text me. Let me know. Do we have a bad weather out there? Let's see if I can get this person. The lines are ringing. When I click on it, it is a problem. Let's take this one. Go ahead. Let's hear you. Hello.
Hello.
Let's hear you, sir.
It's okay. Yeah. How you doing?
We're great. We're great, Chief. Let's hear you.
My name is William Somowolu, and I'm calling from Staten Island, New York.
Okay, go ahead, Chief.
Okay, I want to say thank you. For what all you had just said. But I just want to ask Mr. Stanton Waterspoon from the Spring TV. Whether Mr. Stanton Waterspoon, when government employee was sitting here for 8 months and they were getting paid. I felt too bad yesterday when I was driving going home. Mr. Stanton Waterspoon and his group, apart from Keith Hassan and then that of P. Barry, but the rest of them, he couldn't use you for home. What were they? The government employees sat home and took pay for 8 months. And then they're wishing evil for Minister Tue, but not even going back for every one of them. I want for Mr. Stanton Waterspoon to come out and then facing Mr. Marco Gilman, the allegation level against him. Now he's facing that. Okay, when it comes to the government employee, KOK, right now, Mary Boy is on the fee. She will help her. She needs people to join her on the fee.
Oh, yeah?
And people that are not doing nothing, let me join the team on the fee.
Yeah, you got
okay, man, I say thank you, that God bless you, man.
Yeah, you got plenty of people in the offices, they're literally doing nothing. Let them join the enforcement. You have more money will be generated. We don't say, sack you. My idea is not to sack you. My idea is get out, go and do the job, go in the field, help government to generate the revenue. I mean, you'll be paid. That's how life is. No country manufacturing money to pay salaries. But thank you very much.
Look at the LEC team.
Thank you.
Look at the LEC team. One minute. Look at the LEC team.
Yeah.
You get some volunteer on the team.
Yeah.
They're the people.
Yeah.
They're covering junior people are still covering. Jesus Christ, man.
And trust me, LEC is recording a lot of revenue because the team is enforcing, the law. So if we have bulk of the other people who are sitting in the ministry doing nothing, joining these enforcement inspectors around the country, there is going to be improvement in government productivity, and that's what we need. Thank you very much, my brother.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let's leave you and take this other international caller. What is the name? Where do you join us from?
Hello, KOK. My name is Guito Lawrence Lander.
You're calling from where?
From Massachusetts.
Massachusetts. Go ahead, sir. Let's hear you.
I think KOK, I want to side with you when it comes to like productivity in the place there.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can tell people, I mean, we are Liberia is too very much undeveloped for us to be that lazy. We're too lazy for the kind of society we are. And with that society, we will not grow. People just think say America fun, America this and that, and it because the people here, white people, so that what make them fun. These people here can really work. They work a lot more than they talk. But in Liberia, our culture is just talking. Talking don't solve problems. It's like okay, you want to pay your children's school fee, right? You don't have the money.
Mm-hmm.
But you just send them to the hall, one day you put your hand under your head, beating it, happy. How will pay the school fee? How you gonna pay it just by thinking?
Yeah.
You gotta get out there, go for some kind of contractual work to do or do something. Just find something to do that God can use to bless you through. But we just sit down and talk, and the people that in the ministries, like you're saying here, they're in the ministry, they only go back, just try to go to transport ministry tomorrow, just say you're going to do your driver license. You will see one man just I'm working in the director office. That una job there, I'm working in the director office. Can you carry that so you can do it quick? He just go and tell director, yeah, my brother, yeah, for you to pay his money. We're not doing nothing else. That guy una job to take you and carry you to director office. So I don't know.
So
I don't know what we really doing.
We need to increase productivity, and that's. I mean,
we need to increase productivity, and we're not doing it. Everybody just sitting there and just doing something else. And we just talk. Sometimes you do the other hustle, you move from there, you go to the other hustle. Most people in America here, we hardly stick to hustles because we want to get something. Because by the time you pay all the taxes, you saw it. So it's just to see you got to work. You gotta do 1, 2, 3 jobs before you be able to sustain yourself on that wall, take care of the family back home, and be able to stay to bed, back home. All the time you gotta do it. So people just sit and say, oh, because the person in America said they get money, that work. So equally, so if you back home, you got to look for something to do. Everybody will not just be successful to travel, and everybody will not be successful to be minister. But if you are lucky to get to one of those ministries, look for something to do. If you just said it now, like KOK say, find the productive sector, try to go there and be able to give something back to the society so that our country can be better. That's just my own little contribution. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We'll leave you right there. Let's leave you and take more of our calls. The conversation is going to get better someday. Trust me. Let's take this person. Go ahead. 1 minute.
Hello, okay.
Go ahead, man. CC, let's hear you.
Okay, let me say hi to Alexa there.
Uh-huh.
Okay, what I want to say, okay, thank you for the topic.
Mm-hmm.
But I know what I'm waiting for to employ you because the kind of idea you bring to the disco is very, very good. And people waiting for other people down there, nothing they're doing, just sitting there eating free money. Other people praying for Samuel too. Are you paid because of politics? You pray for someone to die in the accident. He loves their wife. And his child, the security, the driver, they on Facebook, carrying his life. People will back you up. We know, okay, beyond the scenes, okay.
Mm-hmm.
It can happen there. It will not be fun. But if your friend hurt you, I hurt you, hurt too. If somebody died for your sister, you were not speaking, but for that day, they will start speaking. But what they post doing on Facebook, what you do on Facebook? What they men posted the other thing, you're calling all kinds of needs, and the record get up. Yeah, useful idiot. Everybody make your useful idiot. They usually not supposed to do all the dead way. Then they supposed get their money. So system is right there, and you play you have. And this comes to the issue of that. I want to call it, but the other than that for. You question people what they do as well as the on Facebook.
Yeah, but
let's see men are saying man, never die. As I never open the share, the one that I do not say. All the stations there.
No, but no. So even let's assume Darrell Dillon has said that, we still do not condone and will not support other Liberians wishing evil upon him. Our politics should not reach to that level.
Okay, my man, please let me Emma talk because I know you'll call me up. Let me Emma talk. Let Darrell Dillon issue that want me to call the show. I will not cancel that. How do you come and show that man play evil against somebody? You call yourself a Christian. We are a Christian. We are Muslim. We pray to God every day. Then you go on platform thinking about something about that. Then they're not bringing you to your car.
I'm not too sure Senator Dillon made that statement. Yeah. Trust me.
He made that statement. Don't come justify for you. I will get death for you on the platform.
Sorry.
Don't come justify for Dillon.
Sorry about that.
No. Don't put you the men that say, why you want in the time, man, let us say because evil can pay evil, then they say naked that way. And not coming for society.
Thank you.
That's why you put your image.
Thank you.
It's gonna be that, God, they don't tell you right in that car. Let God bless you and give you long life. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, man, Sisi. Let's leave you and take this international caller. Go ahead. My brother Henderson Moto, thank you very much for letting me know. Henderson Moti, he just told me that the weather is cool, rain is not falling. Our international caller, let's hear you. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, Mr. Kang, good evening, good morning to everyone listening to the sound of my voice. I would say to Liberians.
There should be Randy Dapo. Go ahead.
I'm not a prophet. Yes, sir. This is Randy Dapo. I'm not a prophet. I don't intend to be one. But what I can say to you is the information I'm giving you guys. If you ever think that the people in America who are in the opposition, that they coming to help here in our country, they are not live here. And Jesus Christ came down to tell the people that he got a father in heaven and he went back to his father. I'm trying to say this here. There are a lot of Liberians in the country that are catching hard time here. The only hard time they can show you the clothes they can wear, the makeup they can put on to come on a different platform to be talking to Liberians. But it's not easy in the country here. When you come here, one day God will bless you, you will come to the country. You will see the hard time they catching here. My point here is they will say anything and everything to lie to your own ground. That country belongs to you. For me, I live in a country. I'm not intending coming to take anybody's job. I'm not intending living there. But what I can tell you guys, they are not in your interest. They are not in your interest. Somebody mentioned about Darrell Dillon. Let me tell you about Darrell Dillon. In 2015, Darrell Dillon came to America on refugee program. He was not a citizen. Darrell Dillon always told the people, say, you are not for dual citizenship. Last year, before Darrell Dillon became citizen, before he became senator, his son already became a citizen, married to a white woman. And now Darrell Dillon turn around and say he's supposed to dual citizenship because when he finished with that 9 years, his son will file for him to consider in the country here. So those who are wishing bad luck on Minister Tour, let me say this to them also too. The accident happened, he survived. But I hope when the part of accident happened, I'm not a prophet, but God knows, and God knows what will happen to them. But the bitterness is too much in our country. Lastly, Liberian, you own our ground. The country belongs to you. Even if I, Jeremy, come to you, I want to be number 2. I want you to be number 1. Anybody who come to you and tell you, oh, you're vote for me. No. If it's up to me, you're going to put your way back in that chair. You're going to put your way back in that chair. Every blessing God give that man. Joe Biden cannot wait to meet George Weah because the man's son, what he had done for America, the whole war. Can you imagine, Oliver, to my working player, I told one of the guys, I said, the guy that scored the goal for the U.S. is our country president. The man told me that I'm a United States citizen. I don't know what you're talking about here. When you see how the American, when you see how the American people, anybody listen to my voice right now, even although you come to the country, you born your child here, they will not tell you, say, oh, your child, your father from Liberia. No, they will welcome you. You saw the day the men school I go. When 10 school I go, if you look at the crowd, you see all the white people, how they were dancing and how they were happy. That is a clear indication that this country, no matter who you are, they appreciate you. But the evil among the opposition, this opposition that you guys are playing with, they come from the belly of the devil. They don't give a damn about any Liberian in that place. Yes, you hear what the people telling you, they plan the God for you. I will leave it as that kind. But I hope one day you and Alexa will bring me back on the show here. Let me tell our people how the people are thinking about them. Remember, I've been in the country over 26 years now. You hear the way I'm still talking? That means that I left my country, but I'm not leaving my culture back home.
Okay.
I'll talk to you, Khan. Take care. God bless you guys.
Thank you very much. Jerry Randy Dapo from his base in Delaware, the United States. We take the last two callers and we'll be done. Let's take the last two callers. I hope yes, this one and line 3. Go ahead. Let's hear you. What's your name? Hello? Oh no, when you call us, please leave the radio. It is not healthy for our ears. When you call, please leave the radio. This person, let's hear you. 1 minute.
Okay. Good evening.
Good evening, Chief. Let's hear you quickly. No time.
Okay. This is David King, an executive of the National Response and Defense Team.
Go ahead, David.
Okay, I was so sick yesterday in my stomach when I listened to some folks from the opposition camp saying that it was good that Mr. Sweat died in an accident and Liberia problem was going to be solved. And I said to them, the way you guys are taking politics so personal right now in Liberia, it seems to be like we are at war with one another. Remember, Mr. Sweat is one of Liberia's best financial experts we have. And for anything that he is a member of the government, a senior member of the government, and such a tragic thing happened to he and his family, I think this is not something that we all should be celebrating. What happened if I hear say Joe Biden, pacemaker has failed? Should I be jumping in the air and clapping my hand because he pacemaker? I said, no, I won't do that. Because that is not how people should take politics.
No, but let me remind you. I mean, when the paper fell off, President Weah didn't say because the man want my job, so I would not help it. The president sent the man to America for treatment. That is how politics should be. It should not be about personal issues.
Yeah, you see, and you know, okay, the way they are doing politics right now is so bad. We need to stop doing this kind of thing to our country because it is not good for us as Liberians. Politics will put away politics one day and will remain as Liberians. So let us all think that way. Let us stop doing those kind of things that we're doing to one another in the country in the name of politics. That is my own point that I have with that.
Thank you very much. Thank you. We'll leave you. We'll take the last person. Go ahead. You're the last caller on today's edition. Let's hear you. What's your name? Oh, that person is unavailable. Let's leave you and take this other one. Go ahead. 1 minute. You're the last person.
Thank you, KOK. Let me say good evening to you and Alexa. I'm in my M. Topa Jr. and I call you from a resident Togo community.
Go ahead, Toba.
I purpose to call in to wish his finance minister a get well treat, which wherever he is, that God will overshadow him with his mighty hand of blessing, and that the evil thoughts concerning him from the camp of the evildoers, that God will change their imagination against himself, and every one of those guys that were involved in the accident, including his wife, I just want to pray that God will redeem them so that the best performing minister ever in the history of Liberia, the best performing finance minister, will get back on his feet and do what is not doing good and what he knows best, the fingertip of his. Thank you very well.
Okay, thank you. We'll leave you right there. We will surely leave you right there to be right back.
All right, go.
We're going to be returning on tomorrow. My name is Kai. Alexa was here. Irrespective of what we think politics should be or what we think politics is, it should never divide us. Politics should never be the reason why we will continue, to bash on one another. It is only for us to choose our